Hey, what's up, guys? First of all, thank you because we reached 500 subscribers on the channel, which there has been quite a few. Like, I'm getting subscribers kind of regularly again since I've been trying to make videos again as regularly as I can. So, thanks for the support. I really appreciate it. Today's video is a topic that was suggested by someone on Twitter. I had tweeted that I was taking like viewer questions and topics for ideas for videos. So shout out to at Run It Back for suggesting this topic for me that I'm doing today. This person suggested talking about what villains I would like to see in the Batman movie with Robert Pattinson. This person suggested top 5, but I don't know if I can really think of top 5 right now that I would like to see in the movie. So I'm just going to name a few that I think would be interesting. The stuff that's come out about the Batman movie so far, like supposed rumors and stuff like that, is that there's going to be like a whole list of villains, like Batman's rogue gallery for the movie. And I mean, we've seen like different articles and rumors about which ones are supposedly going to appear in the movie. So that's interesting. We've never really seen a Batman movie like that where they have like several main villains. Not in the DCU. I don't think in Marvel either. Like a whole team up of villains like that. Well, I guess sort of like Thanos and his people, but you know, this is totally different. So we haven't seen like a whole team up of villains in a Batman movie. And so I think it's going to be, if that is true, that we're going to see a bunch of different villains in the Batman movie with Robert Pattinson, I think it's definitely going to be interesting to see how they approach that and how to keep it from getting like too much, you know what I mean? So I definitely would like to know more about that if we are going to see like several villains. But I think it'd be interesting to see the Riddler, because now that, I mean, maybe not necessarily like the Riddler that we got in the old Batman movie when Jim Carrey played the Riddler. Obviously it'd have to be like a more modern take on the character. And I mean, even in the TV show Gotham, that version, like he plays a very good Riddler. He's twisted. Like when they first introduced him, like in season 1, you were like, who is this guy? Like you knew that when they were just showing him working at the police station as like the forensic person, you knew that he was important. And it took me a minute because I didn't really like think of his, I didn't think of his name, you know. And so I was like, who is this guy? Why do they keep showing him? Why is he so important? And you know, when they started showing like the question marks and stuff, and you're like, he's a little weird. You know, we figured out he became the Riddler. So maybe like that. Like Gotham is a pretty dark TV show, so maybe like a darker take on the Riddler would be interesting. I think Bane could be interesting to see. Although I think he needs to be like the only villain in a Batman movie, not with several other villains. But I guess if they do some kind of take on like Arkham Asylum, then it would be different to see a whole group of villains instead of just one. I guess I'm just saying he needs his own movie by himself to be the villain, just because that's what we have seen before, and that's what we're used to. But I guess, like they said, if it is some kind of Arkham Asylum type of thing, where a bunch of his villains are in there, that could be a different thing. But I definitely like Bane as a villain. And maybe Penguin. There's been a lot of speculation that Penguin is going to be one of the villains that we see in the movie. It's hard not to say Joker. But we've just seen him so many times. But I think right now it's just different because we're getting a Joker origin movie with Joaquin Phoenix, who in my last video, if you haven't watched it, Todd Phillips said that they are definitely not going to meet up. So obviously we wouldn't expect him to be in the Matt Reeves Batman movie, which I wasn't expecting that anyway, but now it's like, no, definitely not. And also I feel like Joker would be like, you have to have just him and or him and Harley Quinn. if he's the villain in a Batman movie. So as much as I would love, maybe they'll hint at Joker that like exists in this Batman's world. I don't know. I mean, it's hard because we had Jared Leto's Joker in Suicide Squad. I don't know. Of course I would like to see Joker as a villain in the Batman movie. But like I said, given the current situation, I don't really know, like, who would they cast? I don't know. It's strange. I mean, I did mention in my last video that obviously DC is taking a different route than Marvel with not having like this whole connected universe. Obviously it is because we have had solo movies. BVS was obviously a direct follow-up to Man of Steel, which there are scenes from Batman's point of view that happen in Man of Steel and all of that stuff. We know that they are all in the same universe. Batman, Wonder Woman, Superman, Flash, Cyborg, Aquaman. But as far as like, now we're going to have Robert Pattinson play Batman. So it's just, I don't know, like, I guess some of their movies are going to be kind of like they exist in the same universe, and some are just going to be, it's just this movie, more contained, more self-contained, and not necessarily it's related to events that happen in this other movie, and there's cameos and references and stuff like that. So I guess that gives them more freedom creatively to have different versions of the same character in different movies. So I think that's a good thing, because then, you know, we don't necessarily feel like everyone's getting recast. I mean, I wouldn't want it to go to the extreme. Like, I am upset, like I said, it's sad that Ben Affleck got recast, and I hope that doesn't start a trend that, you know, like Henry Cavill and Ray Fisher and Ezra Miller. I think Wonder Woman, or Gal Gadot and Jason Momoa are pretty much in the safe zone as far as like their role right now, not being recast. I think Henry Cavill's still up in the air, but and who knows what's going to happen with Ezra Miller and Ray Fisher. But I think that since they're not doing this giant continuity type of thing, it gives them more freedom, like I said in Room, to have a bunch of different versions of like the Joker and now Batman. So as much as I would like to see Joker as a villain in the Batman movie, I would be actually kind of surprised if they decided to do it for this movie. Since we're already going to have like two different people play the Joker. But I don't know. We don't really know hardly anything about what they have planned for this movie, because every time they get asked, like, they can't talk about it. Robert Pattinson, there's this funny video that I was seeing on Twitter and Instagram of Robert Pattinson getting frustrated because people keep asking him about Batman. His other movie, The Lighthouse, is coming out soon, so people are asking him at like interviews and stuff about Batman, and he can't talk about it, obviously. So it's frustrating, and of course we're all impatient because we finally got a Batman now to be in the Matt Reeves movie. So we want to know everything. We want to know what they have planned for what's in the script, like who's going to be the villain or villains. Are they going to have this big old rogues gallery of villains? Is it going to be this detective-based story, you know, with this younger Batman? So we all want to know. But definitely, I think those would be interesting people to see. I just don't know how many they should include in the movie. Like, how many villains should they have? I don't know. It's an interesting thought. It's just, yeah, I don't know what they're going to do. Especially if they're planning on having a trilogy. I don't know. And we don't even know if Robert Pattinson is going to be the one in all three movies, which hopefully he is, because I think that would be a little hard. Like, that would be just a little bit too much, I think. To him start off in the first movie and then have different people. Even if it was the same person in the second and third movie, but not Robert Pattinson, like, it would still be like, yeah, I don't know. Hopefully he's going to be in the trilogy if they decide to still go through with having a trilogy. So, anyway, yeah, I don't know if I would just rather have one main villain or this, like, rogues gallery of villains. I think either way it could be interesting depending on which way they approach it. Like I said, having like a whole group of villains is something that would be different. So yeah, those are my thoughts on it. Again, I always ramble, but let me know what you think. Would you rather just have like one main villain? Would you rather have a villain we've never seen before? A new take on a villain that we have seen before? Would you rather have like a whole bunch of them? Like, what would you like to see? So, Scarecrow was pretty interesting too, but I don't know. Again, we've seen him, so I don't know. There's only so many out there that they can choose from. So, yeah. Let's see. I think if they do a whole rogues gallery, I think it kind of has to sort of be like ones that people are more familiar with, like that a general audience could at least like recognize their name or something. You know, I think it's kind of hard to bring in villains that are not as familiar. So if they do like several, I think it's probably better if they have more of them that are more recognizable, you know. So anyway, again, thanks guys. 500 subscribers, woohoo. Still small, but you know, hey, it's okay. So thanks for watching. Thanks for sharing, liking, subscribing. Check out the links in the description and see you next time.